Koutou katoa tonight on City News. We're with Valerie Adams at the Active Post Get Set Go event at the Village Green. Bully Free Bro joins forces with 1814 to promote the bully free message, and Lakes DHB is promoting World Prematurity Day coming up next month. Shot put legend Valerie Adams spent the morning yesterday meeting the next generation of sports stars as part of the Get Set Go program designed by Athletics New Zealand and supported by Active Post.
Thank you very much to all the parents who come out here and support this program. That is very important for us to make sure we know these children, our tamariki, the future of this country, and to find specimens to be able to lead our countries, more importantly your town, Rotorua. Thank you very much for coming, kids. Have you guys had a good day so far? Yes, all right.
Mayor Steve Chadwick also went along to meet the locally born Olympic, Commonwealth and World Champion.
This is the age you have to get them going, get them inspired, listen to them with Valerie. They knew who she was. That's pretty cool. So it's great that she's coming and New Zealand Post behind her, because you need role models. When you're little, she's a heroine.
We'll have more on Valerie Adams and her role with the Get Set Go program later in sport. The Rotorua Bully Free Bro, or BFB, has joined forces with one of the country's top reggae bands to promote the bully free message. Coordinator Warren Tumarai says the collaboration is fantastic for the program and the youth involved.
Have you ever been told you're worthless and don't amount to much?
I think about a year ago I talked to the guys from 1814 about this BFB campaign that I was starting. At that stage it wasn't sort of any interest until we had to actually work hard to grow it to a stage where we're actually of interest to other people. So we reapproached it. The bros from 1814, because I've got some history with them, engaged me, and then we looked at a collaboration of sorts. So basically I had all these rangatahi that have been involved in my programs over the year, and this was like a reward for them to be part of this project. And also I just saw it as an awesome opportunity to get our message out to a wider audience through a well-known band and, you know, to a wider media audience. So it was just awesome.
Exciting. So when are we going to see the video?
Okay, so the video's out. We had our launch last Friday, I think. So all the whānau were gathered together, and we had it at the Colour Bar at Ngongataha. And it was such an awesome night, and we all got to share our experiences. All the rangatahi that were involved shared their experiences, and they were starstruck just being there with the group.
So what if you listen? So what if I find that you're perfectly ugly? You're perfectly ugly. Wake up, rise up.
And the 1814 song, Perfectly Ugly, can be downloaded from iTunes or viewed on YouTube. Special Care Baby Unit, or SCABU, staff at Rotorua Hospital are keen to raise awareness of premature birth and the challenges families face by recognising World Prematurity Day on Monday the 17th of November. The team is encouraging families of premature babies cared for at Rotorua Hospital to send photos of their children to decorate a tree outside SCABU in a yarn bomb type display. Clinical nurse manager Jackie Cobberstein says Rotorua Hospital cares for about 300 babies a year, with 40% being there because they're born too early. She says World Prematurity Day aims to raise awareness of prematurity, with this year's theme being tiny socks. And she says more funding is needed in New Zealand to improve the support provided to neonatal families, as well as fund much needed research to identify the cause of premature birth and develop treatments and preventions. To find out more, visit neonataltrust.org.nz. In sport tonight, as we heard at the top of the news, Kiwi shot put legend Valerie Adams spent the morning with future sports stars at the New Zealand Post Get Set Go event. Get Set Go is aimed at giving kids a taste of different athletics events, as well as the opportunity to meet Kiwi athletics stars. New Zealand Post community specialist Georgina Coles says having a star like Valerie on board is a major plus for the program.
Well, she's been our ambassador now for over 2 years. And a lot of her values resonate with what we do. and she's such a fantastic role model. She's a fantastic voice for New Zealand Post, and of course, you know, we're trying to get people active and synonymous with what she does. So yeah, I mean, it's brilliant. She's a perfect person for the role.
To weather now. Tonight, cloudy periods, chance shower, light winds. Overnight, a low of 7. Tomorrow, Wednesday, fine spells, chance afternoon shower, light winds, a high of 17 and low of 9. Looking out to Thursday, fine spells, chance afternoon shower, light winds, a high of 17 and low of 8. Marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Wednesday, southerly 5 to 10 knots, turning northerly for a time, late afternoon and early evening. Waves less than half a metre, mainly fine, fair visibility in the odd afternoon or evening shower. Remember, for program listings, check out our website tvrotorua.co.nz or head to our Facebook page. Still to come tonight on City News, we're at last week's community meeting in Ngongotaha aimed at helping the elderly being targeted by scammers. And we're at the museum to check out their latest exhibitions. Welcome back to City News. Well, we're here now at the meeting in Ngongotaha, which has been planned to discuss scammers going out, knocking on doors, creating relationships and then scamming elderly members of the community here out of upwards of $250,000. So, very serious situation. We're going to be talking with Charles Sturt from the council. We're going to be talking with Detective Sergeant Tony Colby from the Rotorua Police. We're also going to be talking with Bruce Quedley from Neighbourhood Support and Hilary Thor from Age Concern. So hopefully there are some answers to be found here this morning, and we look forward to see what they are. Well, I'm joined now by 3 people who are here to inform and to help make a difference to the community of Ngongotaha, and in particular the issue with scamming. So Tony, first of all, hi.
Hello.
Kia ora. Thank you for speaking on behalf of the police here. Tell me, what can people do to keep themselves safe?
I think the main thing is, if people get any request for money whatsoever from somebody they either don't know or don't know well enough to know whether they can trust them, they need to be sure that that person's genuine in the nature of their request. If they're not sure, then they need to get advice from somebody to help them make a proper decision about whether it's a safe thing to do to give or lend that person some money.
How could the police press charges in this situation? Because that's what everyone's asking. Can anything be done? What's the legalities of the situation here?
If people are asking for money for reasons that are untrue, then that is often a situation where we can take some action and prosecute the people. Where it becomes difficult for the police is when people are asking to borrow money, the people are giving the money willingly, there's a promise to pay the money back. We often, or just about always, cannot do anything in that situation. It's a civil matter, a bad debt if you like. We can't recover that person's debt if they've defaulted on borrowed money.
So unfortunate, but we need to be educated, and community meetings like this are important.
It's good that the Ngongotaha community has rallied to address this issue, and really the police these days is big on prevention, so we fully support what they're doing here today.
Thank you very much. Tony Colby from the Rotorua Police, thank you for your time. Bruce Quedley now from Neighbourhood Support. Kia ora, Bruce.
Hello.
So you must see this often in your job, but not at this scale. Would you say that?
That would be correct. Most scamming that occurs that comes my way is involving people conning people out of things, doing internet scams, telephone scams, and we would like people to be informed about what they can do, what they can't do, and if it sounds too good to be true, it most probably is. So to be wary.
Yes. And in Ngongotaha here, is there any specific advice that you're going to be giving for this community?
Basically, check things out before you do anything. And people who have got vulnerable elderly people, to keep in contact with them, to ensure that they're not lonely and are in need of friends. make sure the families around them, make sure their friends are around them, so that their vulnerability doesn't become a target of others.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you giving us your moments before the meeting. Thank you, Bruce. Kia ora everybody, welcome back to City News. Well, as you know, there have been reports of people scamming in Rotorua. It was on the front page of the Daily Post just last week. Of course, TV Rotorua was out. We were here last week as well. We're back for the meeting now, and I'm joined just briefly by Councillor Charles Sturt, who is out busy in other roles. He's got his professionals top on, so professional and with many hats. Charles, you know the community well. You are an intimate part of Nongataha. You have been for many years. Disappointing, no doubt, to have this meeting, but what are the positives you're looking from with this meeting?
I think a community approach to a problem that I don't think is only Nongataha. I think it's Rotorua-wide. Since the publicity in the Nongataha News and your program, my phone has just rung off from people who've said they're not only people from outside families that have been scamming, but also inside families. So people like Age Concern, elder abuse representatives, they need to stand up and work alongside these people. But these people have got to make the initial move. We only found out about this round the wrong way. We should have been the first people to know about it. But the families concerned are at their wits' end, certainly in talks with the police and other community leaders. We need to unite to fight back.
And absolutely, it's not something that's just localised here in Nongataha or Rotorua or the Bay of Plenty. It's worldwide, really, scamming, and particularly in our region, it's the elders, and it's always, sadly, often from within the family. So really devastating to know that it's actually other people that are coming out, creating relationships and then taking advantage of them. What do you hope will be the outcome of this meeting?
Eventually I hope that we get some ideas today. I can't stay because I've got to rush back to council, but what I want is some strategies on how we're going to approach this. If it needs to be, we need to go to the Minister of the Aged and get some law changes in terms of what can and can't happen. The issue regarding enduring power of attorneys is another one that has come to my light in the last week or so. So there's a whole gambit of tools that we need to all come together and hopefully bring together to the table.
Great. Well, thank you for having a word to us before the meeting. We look forward to hearing what's going to happen now. Thank you, Charles.
No problem.
We're joined now by Hilary Thor. Hi, Hilary.
Hi.
You've organised this meeting. What are you hoping the outcomes will be?
Well, we're hoping to educate people on the abusive side of scams. It is actually financial abuse, but people are not listening to family members when they say, look, don't do this. It's not, if it's too good to be true, you should just sort of question mark this person. But from my side, it's about an education, giving people information about how they can go about reporting this, who do they go to, and what can we offer.
So who should they go to for our audience watching at home if any of them have concerns about someone in their family or for their own safety and well-being from scammers? What should they do? Who should they call?
All right. Well, there's myself, Age Concern. There's Bruce Quigley at Neighbourhood Support. And then there's Tony Colby and Denton Grimes from the police. Any information you need, phone the office, phone one of the people attending the meeting, and we'll talk you through it. Alternatively, you can come in and see us. Just give us a heads up before you come in.
It's certainly not something to feel embarrassed about or ashamed about, having to go and approach Age Concern, because you see it a lot, unfortunately, don't you? And it's often from within the family.
Well, for me, financial abuse, I've been with Age Concern 2 years, and 90% of my work is on financial abuse. And invariably it comes from a family member. But this is a whole new ball game because it comes from non-family members. So we need to do something about deterring the people that are scamming the elderly, and they are targeting the elderly, and the elderly are not using family support. So we want to change that.
Well, we certainly hope that we can help that process along. Look forward to the meeting today. The good turnout.
Yeah.
Good turnout. And so thank you, Hilary, for your time. Are there any last things you'd like to add, and particularly your contact details?
All right. My contact details, I'm at Age Concern in Erawera Street, behind Spotlight. Our telephone number is 07 347 1539. And if I'm not there, somebody will take a message and we'll get back to you as soon as.
And be helpful, and you'll certainly follow up the call if they need to leave a message.
Yes, oh, definitely.
Thank you so much for your time, Hilary.
Thank you.
Kia ora. Well, there you go. So it's going to be an interesting meeting. Hopefully there are some positive outcomes, and we're going to look forward to hearing how this works out. Of course, if you or one of your family members has been the victim of particularly these offenders here in Nongataha or anywhere, then do call through to Age Concern and make sure that you get the support that's out there, ready and willing to help.
I'm at our local museum, here to view our new exhibitions with Carl Chittim. So I've found Carl down here at Wide Horizons. Carl, why this exhibition? What's happening in this room?
This exhibition is actually a restaging of an exhibition that was held a number of years ago and was curated by Anne Somerville. And she was one of the staff members here that curated a lot of the exhibitions, and she's also a bit of a local icon as well. And what the exhibition does is it tells the story of Rotorua's history up until around 1950 through panoramic photographs.
Okay, so when we look around the room, where are we starting?
So where we start in the kind of scheme of things is I've done it roughly chronologically. So the very first photograph in the exhibition is actually an image of the pink and white terraces before the eruption of Mount Tarawera. So it's quite an important image. And as people will see when they come in, it's actually been done in segments. And then the next image in the exhibition is the one behind us. And this is actually the opening day of the Rotorua Museum, or what is now Rotorua Museum, and what was the bathhouse building. So you can see that over here. And it also shows the original layout of the government gardens, which includes an aviary and a ticket office over here. And these two buildings are no longer here.
Great photo. What next after this one?
So then we've got a series of images which kind of highlight local events, particularly significant events. There's the visit of Field Marshal Montgomery in the 1920s. There's also the visits of the Duke and Duchess of York in the 1920s, and also a large naval fleet visit. So we kind of look at some of these significant events. And then we also look at some of the places in Rotorua that sort of changed quite significantly. So there's Hamurana Springs, and there's also Arawa House, which no longer exists.
All right, let's go and have a look at the next exhibition.
Cool.
So where have you brought us to, Carl?
So this exhibition is called David Truebridge So Far, and it's a touring exhibition from Hastings City Art Gallery, and it's been touring all around the country. We're the last venue for it, and it tells the story of David Truebridge, who's a very well-known furniture designer. A lot of people will recognise his lights, which you kind of see all over the place these days, but it also tells the story of his kind of journey in furniture design from when he was a teenager to current practice.
So we're quite lucky to have this one here. How many other exhibitions has this one been in?
So this, it's only had 2 other venues, so this is a very select tour, and we were really excited to get it because of kind of his international kind of practice, I guess. The banana chair, which is behind us, which is what lots of people refer to it as, is actually called the body raft, and this was actually the piece of furniture that made David Trowbridge famous. Won a lot of awards in Milan, which is where the big furniture fair is overseas, and kind of allowed him to kind of make that step internationally.
Wonderful. So where are you going to take us to next?
Next, after this, we're going up to Pick and Mix, but just to let everybody know that this show closes on November the 30th.
Okay. So we've ventured off to the other part of the museum.
Yep.
Pick and Mix. Why that name?
Well, it sort of came about for two reasons. One was that we decided to do a long-term collection show, so this exhibition is up for 5 months, which is quite a long time. And what we did was we asked our staff to select works from the collection, some of their favourite works or works that they hadn't seen before. And then we've also asked them to comment about those works on the labels, so why they picked them or what it was about them that they liked.
So let's talk about some of them. Do you have any in mind?
Well, there's a huge number of works in the show. There's over 50. And although I guess in the scheme of things that doesn't sound like a lot, for the art collection especially, that's a huge number of works. So some of the more important works that have come out on display are our Colin McCann. Lots of people will know his name, but probably not his work. They probably know that they're valuable works. We've also got a Ralph Hortedy painting on display. He's another significant artist that's recently passed away. But alongside those works, we've also got a number of works by local artists or artists that have had connections with Rotorua or the museum. So a number of the works have been purchased from exhibitions within the museum.
Okay, is this one permanent? Is this one here to stay?
No, so we've actually extended the time span for the exhibitions in these particular galleries, which is the Chamber of Commerce Gallery and the Southern Trust Gallery. So they're on kind of a 5-month rotation now. A part of that's to do with budget, but it's also allows us to kind of show a lot more of the collection, which is what people have been asking for.
Where do you keep all these things when they're not on display? Is there a special vault or a safe or somewhere exciting that you can let us know? Where do they go to sleep?
They actually, most of our collections are based at our off-site storage, away from the sulphur. And that's a really great facility where we have our collection staff as well who look after the collections. We do have a really large collection. A lot of photographs, like thousands and thousands and thousands, and lots of social history, and of course not all of those things can go on display at the same time. So they are stored in our off-site facility, and when we have an exhibition that kind of fits a certain theme or we want to tell a particular story, that's when we bring out the objects related to that.
And so it's not on a cycle of any particular nature, it's just if there's something that comes up?
Yeah, we program really specifically to any local events or anniversaries or commemorations, but often we also try and kind of do it so that we're not repeating themes, I guess. Yeah.
Well, look, thank you so very much for your time, and it's been an absolute pleasure looking around the place. I know I've been down here a few times and it constantly changes, but now I know why. So thank you, Carl.
You're welcome.
Looks like a great time to visit the museum and check out the latest exhibitions. If you have a news event TV Rotorua can support, call our office and talk with one of the team on 07 3488 or email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. Thanks for watching tonight. From all the team here at City News, for Marie.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.